What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jumbo Joey here. Today I want to give you an update that is on my Kozmo deck profile for the December 2018 ban list. Alright you guys, obviously most of you don't know me, but Cosmos have been my favorite deck since they first dropped because of the fact that I am total Star Wars nerd. But with the recent ban list that just dropped, oh my god, we got Dark Destroyer back at 3. And this deck is just so powerful because of it. Oh my god. I took this deck with me today to a local tournament. I ended up doing pretty well. I won 2, lost 2. I lost to a warrior deck. You know, the warrior decks are becoming big. And I lost to Time in a Sky Striker matchup. But yeah, I still feel like this deck is going to be very big in the near future. I feel like you're definitely going to be seeing it at like YCS's regionals. I wouldn't be surprised if people saw it at YCS Milan, which is happening I think like right now. But without further dudes, let's get right into it. Starting off obviously with our big OG boss monster, the triple Dark Destroyer. Okay, so this is the OG boss monster right here. If you don't know what Dark Destroyer does, essentially all the ships have this same effect. When it's destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can banish it from your graveyard to special summon another Kozmo monster that's at least 1 level lower. So for Dark Destroyer, it'd be a level 7 or lower, which is pretty dope. And then on top of that, which is why this is such a good matchup dealing with Sky Strikers and such, these big ships can't be targeted by card effects. So basically, half their targeting shit is useless against this guy, against Cosmos. And then another thing that I actually didn't mention, why didn't I mention this? Dark Destroyer, when it's normal or special summon, you can target one monster on the field and pop it. So that's pretty damn awesome dealing with that kind of crap. You got that one overpowered monster that you just can't get rid of. Bring out Dark Destroyer, get rid of it. Next up, we run the one Dark Eclipser. Dark Eclipser is the only ship in the deck that doesn't have when it's destroyed by battle or by card effect special summon, but he does have another effect, which is when it's destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can banish it to search for a level 8 or lower Kozmo monster. So essentially, Eclipser, and if you have one of the pilot monsters on the board, which I'll explain later, you can bring out Dark Destroyer right back. So it's pretty awesome. And the main reason why this card is actually so good is because of the fact that during either player's turn, when Trap is activated, you can negate it by banishing one Kozmo in your graveyard. Now, I know a lot of people are probably thinking, why does that matter? Normally your graveyard's empty. Normally that is true, but when you got cards like Tin Can in the graveyard, or not Tin Can in the graveyard, but when you use Tin Can's effect, they'll send monsters to grave. So that will actually open up for Eclipser. So dealing with the Trap matchups, that's pretty good. Dealing with like Altergeists or Paleos. So definitely pretty solid. And next up we run another big ship, the double Forerunner. I feel like Forerunner kind of lost, well, it didn't lose anything, but I feel like Forerunner at 2 is good. When Dark Destroyer was at 1, Forerunner was definitely bumped up to 3. And while Dark Destroyer got back up to 2 in the September ban list, Forerunner I still feel like it had a place at 3. But now that Destroyer's at 3, Forerunner's going down to 2. But it's still a very vital card in this deck because of the fact that all the pilot monsters, their effects cost life points, and he gains back those life points for you. So in reality, it's kind of like, whatever. You know, I'll gain all those life points right the fuck back. Like, damn. And finally, for the last of our ships, we run the triple Slip Rider. You know, back row destruction, always helpful in any deck. He is the only ship in this deck that can be targeted by card effects, which kind of bites, but at the same time, it's like, whatever. But it does still have the banish from when it's destroyed by battle or by card effect, banish, special summon, level 4 or lower. But yeah, that's it for the ships. Let's get on to the pilots. I do want to mention this in case you guys are confused, like why I'm calling them ships and pilots. Pilots are the psychic monsters, ships are the machines. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so for our first pilot, we run the best damn one in the deck, which is the triple Tin Can. Tin Can is fucking incredible, you guys. So all the pilots have a similar effect, where during either player's turn, you can banish it from your field to special summon another Kozmo monster that is at least 1 level higher. So essentially similar to this, when like they're destroyed by battle, special summon another one that's lower. This one brings out the bigger ones, so you can just constantly sit there and tag in and out, which is awesome. And then Tin Can's effect is pretty dope because not only does it load up your graveyard with monsters if you need Eclipser, But then you get a search with them. So you pay 500 points. During your end phase, you pay 500. You reveal 3 Kozmo cards with different names. Your opponent randomly picks one, and that gets added to your hand. The other 2 go to grave. So that's pretty awesome. Next up, we run the double Strawman. Strawman is really dope. You pay 500, special summon a banished Kozmo monster. Its effects are negated and it's destroyed during end phase. Now that's actually really good because of the fact that like say for instance you bring out Dark Destroyer with it. When it's destroyed, it gets the grave effect. So when it's destroyed, it technically is being destroyed by a card effect. You can banish it, special summon even more. So that's actually really dope. And then we got the double Sword Troopers. Essentially the monster reborn for your pilot monsters. Oh, excuse me. Next up, we run the double Farm Girl for obvious reasons. When it deals damage to your opponent, you pay 500 life points. Search out for another Kozmo card. It doesn't have to be a monster, so you can search out the field spell. You can search out the the trap. You can do a lot with it. Now we run the single Wicked Witch with the single Dark Lady. I was debating about putting up Dark Lady to 2, which I definitely would, but I don't have another Dark Lady, so that one. But in reality, Dark Lady at 1 is fine. Dark Lady at 2 would be good, dealing with certain matchups like the Sky Striker matchup. Be pretty damn awesome. But yeah, that's it for the monsters of the deck. I don't make hand traps in this deck because of the fact that you have so much with it. It's like, who cares? Like, you can negate everything that they try to throw at you 95% of the time. Like, somebody tried to keep ashing me today. I just kept using Dark Ladies, like, negate, negate, negate. For our spells, we're in the triple Kozmo Town. Obviously, this card is incredible because of the fact that, first off, it mulligans your hand. What you can bring a banished Kozmo monster back to your hand by paying life points equal to its level times 100. So for cards like Dark Destroyer, it's 800. For cards like Tin Can, it's 100. And with Forerunner on the field, forget it. Like, you get that free return to hand. That's pretty awesome. And then for those quick grabs, you run the double Terraforming. You don't really need Terraforming that much with this deck, but I feel like it kind of adds on a little bit extra to it, just in case you really need that quick grab. You know what I mean? Next up, we run the triple Called by the Grave. Like I said, this deck is one big hand trap target. So Called by the Grave is kind of insistent, in my opinion. Then we also run the triple Twin Twister. If you don't get access to Twin Twister for whatever reason, MST is also good, but I like running Twin Twister because it gets to pop off everything. And then we also run the double Gold Sarcophagus, because of that, comboing this out with Kozmo Town. Say for instance you have Kozmo Town on the field and you draw Gold Sarcophagus, you banish your monster, then you use Kozmo Town, bring it right back to hand, and that's essentially a hand trap free search. Well, not entirely. You can still, like, your Kozmo Town can still get Ghost Ogred, but, you know, I feel like, who cares? Like, you can't ash it, you can't effect Veiler it, you can't do anything. And then for the one-ofs of the deck, you run the one E-Telly and the single 1-for-1. A lot of people think that you should be running Reasoning in this deck, but that's just one big Ash Blossom nightmare right there. You know, like, you can't freaking do anything. But that is it for the spells. Let's get right into the traps. We only run 2 in this deck specifically. I run the double Cosmojo with the triple Back to the Front. Now the reason I went with Cosmojo at 2 is because of the fact that it's a hard once per turn. I needed to make room for like Twin Twisters and stuff, but it's still a very vital card. We all know what Back to the Front does, but Cosmojo is definitely really good because of the fact that when you activate it, you target one of your Kozmo monsters, destroy it, and banish one card in your opponent's field or graveyard, so that's really freaking good. And then if you destroy one of the ships, you get that free special summon, so that's pretty awesome. So that's it for the main deck. Let's talk about my side deck, and then we'll wrap this up with my extra deck. So for my side deck, pretty obvious. I run 2 Kaijus. I got the double Gamma Seal. I feel like Kaijus are pretty good in any deck, but the reason I went with Gamma Seals for this specific deck is because of the fact that all of my ships, every single one, even Slip Rider, can trounce over it. And like I said, I don't main hand traps, but I still use them with the triple drone lockbird. Any hand trap will do. Winter cherries, anything like that. Whatever. Your pick. For the spells, I run the double Allure of Darkness because of the fact that that is essentially a free pot of greed. But I feel like Gold Sarcophagus is a little bit better. But depending on who I'm going up against, I will side in and out Allure of Darkness and Gold Sarcophagus. Then we also got the 1 Dark Hole and the 1 Monster Reborn. Then let's talk about my trap cards. We run the triple Curse of Darkness for that Sky Striker matchup. And we also run our Solemns with the double Strike and the 1 Judgment. That's it for the side deck. Let's talk about my extra deck and then we'll wrap up this video. I will openly say this about the extra deck. The extra deck is pointless. You don't really need it. I don't think I went to my extra deck once today. If I did, maybe I could have done better against that Warrior deck. But at the same time, it doesn't even matter that much. But yeah, definitely really good. Definitely, it's like how do I put this? It's like adding gravy to your potatoes. Like potatoes are good on their own, but you add a little bit of gravy, you add that extra kick. You know what I mean? So yeah, for my extra deck, the one invoked Makiba. In case anybody's dumb enough to destroy Cyber Dragon Nova. Next up, we got the 1 Galaxy Tomahawk, in case you want to go for the board load play. The double Infinity with the double Nova. And then for our link support, we run the Borload, the Bomber Dragon, the Gumblar Dragon, the Saruja, the Trisbania, the Summon Sorceress, the Cliffort Genius, the Paroxy Dragon, and finally the Link Spider. Alright guys, so that is it for my Kozmo deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys found it informative, and I hope someday that you guys will be Star Wars nerds just like me and pick up this deck. This is Jumpin' Joey signing off.